Roblox. Good old Roblox. A perfect platform with no flaws whatsoever. I seriously can't think of a single person I know who has not signed their soul over to the devil by making a Roblox account and booting up a Roblox game before. It's been around for forever, and it quite possibly has one of the most controversial histories of any game. But who doesn't love a good Roblox game every now and then? I know I sure do. I'm damn near 20 years old, and I can't help but invest 8 hours of my life every day into some good old slap games. And of course, as a neck-bearded weeaboo anime nerd, I gotta get my daily fix of Roblox anime games. Man, if I spent half the time I've invested in games like Grand Peace Online and Mighty Omega into something meaningful like volunteering or something, I probably could have been what some people like to call a contributing member to society. Anyway, what I plan to do is review some Roblox games of all kinds. The good, the bad, and the... Today I'm starting with something simple, a relatively niche Roblox game based on JoJo's Bizarre Adventure called A Bizarre Town. Seriously, I don't know what it is with the owners of these JoJo games who can't muster up even a little bit of creativity to name their game something other than the same 5 buzzwords. But the name's not important. Let's check the gameplay. You start off greeted by a pop-up containing several paragraphs of text. There's nothing like starting off a game by being forced to read a wall of text longer than any essay I've ever written without AI. It gives me flashbacks to when Bizarre Adventures seized development and gave me whiplash by hitting me with a huge wall of text when I joined in one day. The game was already dying, but that final edition was really the last nail in the coffin. Guess they just didn't care if the game was played anymore, so they went ahead and told everyone who would from then on join the game, "Hey kid, no point in playing this game because we ain't updating it anymore. Sorry if you wasted countless hours progressing for ultimately no reason. Go play Tower of Hell or something." They kind of went with an OG Roblox aesthetic. You can tell by the 3-frame animations and the assets that make up the map. I actually found this quite appealing. It is certainly unique for a JoJo game. Another thing that's relatively rare for these Roblox JoJo games is the integration of the storyline and the gameplay. Games like YBA and RUI have done this, and unfortunately for this game, they did them a lot better. Spoiler alert. So one of the first NPCs you meet is this John Potts guy, who I'm pretty sure is supposed to be the guest to blame. If you don't know, the guest to blame is known for creating one of the oldest and most popular JoJo games, A Bizarre Day, which is kind of known as a grandfather of anything involving Roblox and JoJo. One thing that I like about this game is the incorporation of a lot of Roblox and JoJo community assets. For example, you'll see tons of famous Roblox figures roaming the streets of this game as NPCs who you can even interact with, including Mr. Flimflam, also known as Flamingo, and Nicholas, the creator of one of the most famous Roblox games, Murder Mystery 2. Really interesting, and a nice little nod for anyone who knows about that kind of stuff. So anyway, this John Potts guy tells us about his hometown that we have seemingly moved into, Bloxio, a combination of Roblox and Moria. Nice work, Bizarre Town developers. You guys must have really racked your brain over that one. He wants us to follow an arrow above our head that points to the mayor to go meet him. Seeing as we have nothing better to do, we oblige him. You'd think the mayor of the town would be inside of, I don't know, a town hall or something. But no, he's just chilling in a house like the most low-profile politician ever. So we talk to him, and the CSI-ass music kicks off. John Potts disappears inexplicably, and it seems like the mayor and John Potts are associated with the Speedwagon Foundation, a fictional organization founded by the character REO Speedwagon in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Their public goal is to perform acts of humanitarianism to those in need, but their secret undercover agenda is to investigate unexplained bizarre phenomenon that occur in the otherwise natural world, and to protect the public from such threats caused by it. In my opinion, they should be investigating this John Potts guy, seeing as he's apparently capable of instantaneously going from one place to another. He says that he was sent to Bloxio to observe the town and report anything unnatural that he sees, which undermines his previous alibi of residing in his hometown his whole life. He says that there was some unusual and ominous energy that the Speedwagon Foundation detected in Bloxio, akin to that of the apparent stand arrows that they currently possess, which is why he was sent here on an investigative mission. The mayor inquires about the possible existence of another stand arrow, seeing as though he thought the Foundation had already collected all of them previously. The mayor warrants John Potts' mission and asks if we are his partner or not, which, according to John Potts, we are. I guess we just work for the Speedwagon Foundation now, which I hope they have a life insurance policy because this job has a very high death rate. So when introductions are over, The game directs us towards John Potts' house, who apparently is allowing us to reside in his home while we were in Bloxio. Temptress walks past me, and I do a double take, seeing as though I did not expect him to be here. The in-game menu looks pretty cool. I feel like it's definitely based off of one of those Persona games. Not sure which one, maybe all of them. So we walk to John Potts' house, and he informs us that we will be sleeping in his mom's room, which he assures us that we will not be sharing the same room with his mom because she is dead. He comes off as so sociopathic about it too. He's just like, do not worry, they have already passed on. Like, goddamn, bro, are you sure you didn't kill her? So then we go to our room and unpack all of our belongings, of which there are none. So we just go meet John Potts upstairs. As soon as we walk into the room, we're thrusted into another cutscene. I don't understand why these specific ones are unskippable. Every other dialogue interaction in the game gives you the option of skipping them, so why not be allowed to skip literally the only forced dialogue interactions in the entire game? And they really yap on and on too. He's telling us all about stand arrows and what they do, telling us about the Speedwagon Foundation, and then he gets interrupted in the middle of his monologue and we go into the hallway to investigate. Apparently this guy thinks that I can see a stand, which for some reason I can, even though in the show non-stand users can't see stands. Doesn't make much sense to me. The stand disappears and we go and talk to John downstairs. He tells us to stay on our toes and to go investigate the whereabouts of the stand. Yeah, real fucking smart, dude. Send your non-stand user partner to go look for the stand. Lazy ass. We go outside and there's two highlighted clues. Footprints and a ladder. Don't really get how these clues correlate to the stand, but alright, I'll buy it. As soon as we click the second clue, we are thrust into, again, another cutscene in which the stand appears again, ready to attack. John Potts tells us to stand back, instant transmissions away, and leaves us on our own to fight the stand right after telling us we weren't ready to face it yet. I guess we're so scared shitless at this point, we can't help but just stand still and stare at the stand. I think something else was supposed to happen here, but it just bugged out. John Potts speaks to us telepathically from another plane of existence, and I guess that just scared us so bad that we slip and bust our ass or something. This John Potts guy really told us to sink or swim, and it looks like we drowned, because we wake up at the mayor's house and somehow have unlocked the stand. I guess we fell on top of an arrow in the grass or something. The mayor tells us that while we were sleeping, John Potts defeated the stand and that we should head out and find him. I walk outside and summon my stand to see what I got. Ugh. The first one always turns out a bit weird, I guess. I think we got the hand, but it's hard to tell with his body parts phasing in and out of itself. Cool barrage effects, though. So we meet John Potts at the train station, where he's apprehended the stand user who attacked us, as well as the arrow that he was using. He then atomizes the stand user and both of the Speedwagon Foundation members with his sheer aura. Holy shit, this guy is really strong. Felt kind of unnecessary, if you ask me, Will. The camera just kind of freezes in the same place for a few seconds, and apparently we're under attack again. Seeing as though we now have a stand, John Potts now has a good reason to shift the responsibility onto us to stop the delinquents. Although that clearly didn't stop him before. Honestly, seeing what John Potts is capable of, I'm more scared of him than I am of these enemies, so I do as he tells me. They're strong, but I have a stand that can erase literally anything with a swipe of its hand, so I kind of win by default. Some blue-haired guy catches a nastiest stray and has his arm swiped off. Whoopsies. So I finish off the last delinquent easy peasy and talk to John Potts. It puts us in a cutscene where John Potts polishes my doorknob a little, marveling at the fact that I unlocked a stand and how it's so impressive. And the storyline just ends. Yeah, just like that. That was the entire game's storyline. That ending was more unexpected than an M. Night Shyamalan film. That's the unexpected ending, with a twist.
What's the M. Night Shyamalan?
She shoves a mop up your ass. You don't see that coming.
Really, I wouldn't say this game has a storyline as much as it has a tutorial. Granted, there were a few story beats, but it was so short and clearly it was just supposed to introduce you to the mechanics of the game. So I guess you're just left to your own devices, so I went around exploring the map. I found Coco Jumbo, punched him a little, hit the gym, and found this guy who needs me to deliver a letter to his friend. I fucking hate this quest. He wants you to explore on the map to find his friend with no guidance or direction. The only information it gives you is his friend's name, Yolk. I don't understand why the developers couldn't just program in an arrow to point you in the direction of the NPC like they did for the storyline. It's clearly possible and within their abilities, but they would rather you aimlessly wander around the whole map until you get lucky and interact with the NPC that you're supposed to. Which, there are a lot of random-ass NPCs in this game, so your chances are already slim. So I went exploring and found a Roka farm. I like this method of obtaining Rokas, farming for them rather than just finding them randomly sprinkled around the map. Although it's essentially the same as other games, you just wait for a Roka to appear on one of the trees and then you take it. I kind of wish they would expand on this obtainment method a little bit more. Maybe make it so you could have your own personal Roka farm so that you don't have to fight other players who are also waiting in the same place for Roka to spawn. That'd be nice. I found Kira on a playground. Truly the perfect place to have a predator. Except it's not Kira, it's just some guy who looks like him. Lame. So here's the unedited footage of me looking for this Yolk guy. As you can see, it took me quite a bit of time. It was kind of like that soup meme. That guy talking to the other guy on the phone where he's looking for clothes in a soup store. Except I'm looking for a specific NPC in an entire map filled with nearly identical buildings and NPCs. And I don't even know who I'm looking for exactly, so it's actually worse in that way. Oh, look, a shopkeeper. Another classic trope of these Roblox JoJo games, they gotta add a shopkeeper so you can buy items and shit. Let me go ahead and cross that off my bingo board. So the shopkeeper sells arrows, rokas, and fishing rods. I don't exactly see the correlation between the first two items and the last one, but I'll buy one anyway. I find the stand storage NPC and he sends me on a quest to fish up a stand disc for him. I don't really like that in order to store my stand, I have to go on a fetch quest for the guy. Maybe if it unlocked another storage slot or something, it'd be justified, but it just feels kind of unnecessary. On my way to the pond, I took this time to look up my stand stats. I gotta say, I really like the stand stat sheet. I wish more Roblox JoJo games would do something like this for their stands. If you're wondering what those explosion noises are happening every few minutes are, it's because apparently several meteorites crash on blocks of you every single day. I cannot imagine being a resident of this town and living every day in fear that a meteorite would fall on me and crush me while I'm on my way to work or something. I also took this time to examine this very out-of-place pylon, which I'm assuming is supposed to be Superfly. I wondered if it functioned like how Superfly does in the show, but unfortunately it doesn't. It'd be cool if when you walk out of the pylon you turn all metallic like Josuke and it kills you or something. Missed opportunity in my opinion. I got to fishing, and after about 4 attempts I fished up a stand disc. I also harvested a meteorite that crashed in front of me mere moments before this other guy did. I take the stand disc back to the stand storage guy, and he flexes his stand discs on me. He took my stand, but I decided I wanted it back, so he gave it back to me. I walk over to the pond and get jump scared by a random Black Sabbath. It chases me all the way back to the stand storage where I find the user, who I then promptly erase. I find another meteorite and use the arrow it gave me, which then gave me Black Sabbath. As soon as I summon my stand, it instantly goes to random kill some poor guy faster than a pit bull spotting a toddler. It looks like it surprised him more than it did me because he immediately left after being attacked. I felt a little guilty about this. Later I ended up getting rat and found some guy waltzing around with purple haze stinking up the joint. I decided to show him what for by shooting him repeatedly. He decided to return the favor by absolutely demolishing me. That's actually how they show in the show though. Someone gets their shit absolutely stomped and the narrator says they just retired. I got Magician's Red and went to the high school to beat up some delinquents with some guy with Dark Blue Moon. Wait, was that Purple Haze model from earlier a skin? Man, I thought this game might be better than that. This is the one bingo card that I hate winning. Found some guy in front of a green screen. He didn't really say anything particularly interesting, so I'll just put something funnier.
There was doo-doo feces thrown all over the wall.
More arrows, more rokas, more garbage. I got Purple Haze, which was new, and decided to test it on Foxy. He didn't appreciate it, so he killed me. I was fine with this until I tried interacting with the shopkeeper to buy more rokas, and he put me in combat. So I had to give him that work. He pulled out a damn gun, but he had Stormtrooper aim and missed both of the shots, and I promptly ended his existence on this planet. Then Think Noodles caught a stray. I tried to talk to the shopkeeper again, but I got attacked again by, this time, a Sun user. I took out some aggression on him when Foxy came to third party. It didn't matter because I ended up dying to my own toxic gas like a fool, embarrassing myself. I got tired of farming stands, so I used one final arrow and ended up with the same stand that I started with. How roundabout.